Happy the pure of heart, for they shall see God. It's interesting that what he's saying is that when the heart is right, seeing will be right. He ties together heart and sight. As we say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's approximately the same thing. If your heart is cold, even unconsciously, I still don't like that guy. I want to hurt him because he hurt me. I want to make him feel bad. I want to let him know that he hurt me. If that is still hiding within your heart, if there is still coldness and unforgiveness, or the desire to do violence verbally, or just visually to avert your loving gaze so that another person will feel your coldness, whatever it might be, that is still in the heart, and you will not be able to see clearly. Jesus says the eyes are the windows of the soul. What you always see in people who love God is the ability to make eye contact, or maybe I should say people who love themselves too. When you hate yourself, you cannot look someone else in the eye. It isn't people who hate God, but people who hate themselves, and therefore they hate the divine image within themselves, and they are afraid almost that you will not see it there. I work at the jail, as you know, and it's the hardest thing to get the guys to look at me eyeball to eyeball. They always put their heads down. There seems to be a terrible sense of failure and inferiority. You want to hold up their heads sometimes and say, "Look at me. Don't you know you're a son of God? Don't you know you're a beloved son?" But they close their eyelids as if to say, "Don't look in here. Just don't look in here." There's too much power in the eye, too much power given and received. It might heal. It might change me. I might have to believe it. Truth comes through the eyes. It's hard to lie with your eyes. Very hard. So Jesus calls us to purity of heart and purity of eyes. Next, he says, happy are the peacemakers. This is the only time the word peacemakers is ever used in the whole Bible. Happy the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons and daughters of God. Literally, it's one who reconciles the world. But it's correctly translated as peacemakers. Clearly, you can see what side of the issue Jesus is on. Not on the side of the violent, but on the side of the nonviolent. What he's saying is there must be a connection, a clear consistency between means and ends. That's it. That's all. There must be a constant unity between means and ends. Now, we want to play with words or play with ideas, and they'll tell you that's not true. They'll say, we can achieve peace through violence. We will stop killing by killing. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that in your life? It's the way we think. It's unbelievable that we're allowed to turn around truth in such a way and to disconnect the clear unity between means and ends. We name a missile that is clearly meant for the destruction of humanity a peacekeeper. American Christians supported the killing of 200,000 people in Iraq and still dare to call themselves pro-life. War is a means of seeking control, not a means of seeking peace. Now, the world's way of seeking control and calling it peace, we have called in theology the Pax Romana, the Roman peace. There, all the people at the top thought they had peace. They lived in the city of Rome, and everything seemed okay. Violence, you see, will always create more violence, but it creates the violence at the edge, out in the colonies, and it calls what it has at the center peace. They exported their violence to the edges and called it peace at the center.